The last push, sir, to get these men out, we don't really know what happened, the circumstances. Tell us as we bring these pictures to our viewers.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for inviting me for this program. Since yesterday, when we gave out the reports that we had gone to 247 meters with the help of the auger, and the auger machine was stuck. Of course, all the extrication of the broken parts of the auger machine was carried out by yesterday afternoon, and thereafter the manual effort started with the help of the so-called rat miners, who are tremendous people, absolutely. They, the army engineers, and the people from the NHDICL themselves, all of them were there. They started this effort, and actually they beat my expectations. I was thinking that this would progress at the rate of about 2 to 3 meters in about 18-20 hours. But they managed to do 10 meters in a period less than 18 hours. And there were impediments in the way. They came across metal parts. They did come across some concrete blocks, etc. But they managed to cut through them and carry on forward. All this, the challenging part is done under conditions of very, very cramped working conditions inside those pipes. And they finally managed to get through. The final effort, additional 2 meters virtually had to be pushed of the pipe, had to be pushed across so that the mouth of the tunnel would then appear sufficiently on the other end. That happened in the late part of the evening. And then, of course, once that had been done and the stability had been achieved, then the NDRF personnel, the paramedics, etc., went in, and they enabled this movement, outward movement, which has taken place faster than what was estimated. We had estimated about 3 to 5 minutes per individual to come out, but they beat that record virtually as like a record and brought out all 41 in almost a little less than an hour and a half. So there we are. It's a huge monumental effort which has gone into this by the Government of India, all its agencies under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister.
General, what is the condition of the men who've been rescued?
Sorry, I couldn't get you there.
The condition of the men who've been rescued.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I'm not fully aware of whether anyone is medically challenged at the moment, but there is enough infrastructure there to ensure that they go through a full medical process. I will just remind you that initially it was the tunneling which was going on, the manual effort which was going on. For the next 2 hours, it is the NDRF which had taken over the complete responsibility of the pull-out of the men. And now it is the medical authorities, the Uttarakhand State Health Department, which has got all these facilities laid out there. Infrastructure in the sense 80 meters away from the pile-up of the debris.
All right, General, I'm just interrupting you for half a second. Stay on with us. It's been a very, very difficult time for everybody actually monitoring this entire process as well. There was so much initial momentum, and then that momentum came to a halt when that auger machine broke. Could you tell us now something which you've not told us before, the tension, the stress at the very highest levels when you all realized that, oh no, this is now going to be taking much more time and we need a backup plan as well?
Well, I can share this with you, Vishnu, that right from the beginning, the approach adopted was that, or the concept adopted was that we will have a multilateral approach, which meant that we were having 5 options before us. We were trying to enable the resources for that. Some of the resources have not even reached till today, right? But we had 5 options. We added a 6th option to it. And all of them were workable options, but in grades, they were one more difficult than the other. For example, even at the moment we are talking, the 46 meters of the top-down drilling was achieved by this evening. And we had put a stop to it only to resume in case we failed again here. So there was always alternatives, options, plan Bs were always available right through. But not to say that disappointment was not there. By the time when the auger machine started to break down, I was very hopeful that it will get repaired again. We should have had the capability to repair it, but then I realized that it had overworked itself, it had overheated, there were parts which were broken. That was the time when I think the presence of having General VK Singh on the spot made such a difference, where he could speak, get resources going, the magna cutters, the laser cutters, the plasma cutters from different parts of the country, identify them, get the NDMA to get the resources of the Indian Air Force to immediately come in, speak to the Prime Minister's office, bring the Principal Secretary into it, who immediately gave orders to open up all the resources. It made a huge difference. Everyone was in his position at all times. Everyone was on his mobile phone. Of course, mobile technology makes such a difference. And WhatsApp groups, there were lots of WhatsApp groups functioning from the tunnel. There were WhatsApp groups within Delhi. The important thing was there was one perception on the ground there, and there was another perception standing back from the ground. We all took a larger view of it here and made sure that we did not get disappointed at any stage. You could make out that on the spot there, the disappointment and the sentiments were very evident. And that happens when you are on the ground with operations. But if you are standing back, the larger decision making must be taken absolutely shorn of any sentiments.
Generally, there were multiple agencies that were involved in the rescue operation. There were also foreign experts who came in and who had some very sound technical advice for you, and these were world-class experts. Before we talk about the others, what was their role?
You see, there's no doubt about it that from the day one, when you realize the intensity of the challenges which we were facing, we realized that it can't be a standalone effort. There was experience around the world which existed, and people who were experts in this, who probably had done multiple such operations in different other parts of the world. Here in India, we could find experts who may have perhaps constructed a tunnel or perhaps carried out one rescue, but that was not sufficient. That was the reason why immediately an access was made online to all these resources, and they're enabling them to fly in. Some of them didn't even have flights available anywhere nearby. They took all roundabout routes to reach Delhi and were taken by the fastest means. They were taken up to Uttarkashi. So their role has been immense, and you see, they were the people to whom one could go back in the face of disappointments. You saw this many times. Mr. Dix himself being interviewed and stating very clearly that he is appreciating the kind of all-of-government approach, he's appreciating the efforts to save people, save lives, make sure that least risk is taken. But at the same time, he was promising that this rescue will succeed ultimately. I think that approach and attitude helped us all.
General, at the end of the day, it was the rat miners, and we banned rat mining in India for various reasons, but it's that scale of people literally scrambling with spades in their hands and tools and implements and getting at that debris and pulling it all out that saved the day. Could you tell us a little bit about the final set of rescuers?
Well, it was the last 10 meters, as I said earlier, which was left to them. And frankly saying, I did not expect this to go through so fast. I had no idea. I could not appreciate the capability of the rat miners, the manner in which they can go ahead. The confidence which was being exuded by them. Yesterday on television, some of them were speaking, showing absolutely a nonchalant kind of an attitude, as if this hardly mattered. They were just willing to go in with anything. No special tools as such. They took in the basic cutters, etc. The ability to work under those conditions in heat, without light, of course artificial light was being provided, but cramped conditions to do this kind of work. It is their experience of years which came in handy. You see, soldiers can do it, lots of other people can do it, but the speed with which these people can work, I think is absolutely something exemplary completely. So they are the ones who really made the difference in the end.
General Hasnain, where did you find these miners?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get you there.
Where did you find these rat miners?
Oh,
did you fly them in?
I am told that an access, you see, the search for talent was being made all over. And everyone was putting it out. There was an open line, as I said, completely for anyone to ring in. A lot of people called. I don't know who offered their services, who offered the kind of suggestions, etc. I couldn't record it myself. But obviously someone suggested this and someone took it very seriously. And obviously that led to bringing these people. Some of them are from Delhi, I am aware. And the work in urban areas here making a lot of difference to the local sanitation and things like that. They are the ones who really are the heroes of this whole episode.
Without a doubt. General, one or two questions. We were discussing this 2 days back as well. You know, we are here talking, and we're all relieved. It has to do a lot with that water pipeline which was there. It has a lot to do with electricity being present inside the tunnel and your ability to get in food. Again, how were these key steps without which we would not be having this conversation today?
I think it was a God-given thing which happened, very divine, and in the mountains. And as you know, I'm from the Garhwal Rifles. My men we always believe in this divine intervention. I think when this whole thing came down crashing, the one thing which survived was this pipeline, which was actually a compressor pipeline to drive some of the equipment on compressed air. Now that is the pipeline which became the lifeline for the first few days. Thereafter, of course, a deliberate effort to probe. A 6-inch pipeline was 6-inch effort was made to create a 6-inch pipeline through. When that 6-inch was achieved, redundancy was not there. We had the 4-inch, we had the 6-inch. An attempt was being made to make a vertical lifeline also. But this 6-inch pipeline proved to be ultimately the savior. Because it's through this that the food, the clothing, the communication line which went in, all this made a huge difference.
Yep.
Vishnu, I'll have to withdraw now
thanks,
because I've got calls coming from everywhere.
I was about to thank you. Thanks very much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Stressful times.